We'll cross over live to the UPSC auditorium for preparations ahead of this much-anticipated debate.
And later, celebrities up in arms over Gaming Commission's decision to ban betting companies from using stars as ambassadors.
We did run and they say bets people with celebrities with the advertise for bets. Bad man, make wake up. We're so sad.
We'll hear from comedian DKB, Shatawale, and others reacting to this directive.
You can send us your views and comments on all these stories and more on WhatsApp 055 1111 997. My name is Ernest Manu. Now, tonight, the Acting Auditor General, John Esiedu, is citing 17 district assemblies in the Ahafo and Ashanti regions for spending over 11 million cedis on 95 projects which were at various stages of completion but abandoned to award new contracts. Now, this was contained in the 2019 Auditor General's report on the utilization of District Assemblies Common Fund. The Acting Auditor General is warning the delay in completion of the project could result in cost overruns attributed to inflation and other external factors. My colleague Araba Kumsin has details of this. Araba, let's take a look at the details on the project abandoned first from the Ahafo region. What do we know?
All right, Dennis. So the audit team noted during their review of projects that 5 assemblies awarded a contract of 9 million cedis. They, however, expended a total of 3.4 million cedis on 44 projects which were at various stages of completion. But these were all abandoned and new projects were awarded. The assemblies are the Sutifi North and South, Tano North and South. And the Auditor General is warning that the delay in executing these projects could lead to cost overruns to the detriment of other developmental projects of the assemblies. And the report is also recommending to managements of the assemblies to ensure that priority is given to abandoned or delayed projects before new ones are awarded to avoid the situation where funds are locked up unnecessarily.
So that is for the Ahafo region. What is the situation in the Ashanti region as far as delays in executing projects are concerned?
So the audit team, after a review of projects awarded by 12 assemblies as listed, expended 7.5 million Ghana cedis on 51 projects which were at various stages of completion, but these were delayed for periods ranging between 1 and 108 months. That delay was due to poor project planning and cash flow problems that inhibits timely payment of interim certificates to contractors. Now, the Auditor General observed that the delay in the completion of the project could result in cost overruns, obviously attributable to inflation and other external factors. The communities are also being denied timely services of the facilities to improve their livelihood, and the report recommended to management of the assemblies to mobilize resources to complete the projects for the benefit of the communities before new projects are initiated.
But it talks about abandoned projects also in the Ashanti region.
It does. It says that the management of 6 assemblies awarded 28 contracts amounting to 7.6 million cedis, and these were scheduled for completion between 2009 and 2019. That's 10 years. However, these projects were in their various stages of completion when they found they were abandoned after interim payments of 3.7 million cedis had been made to the contractors. So the contractors had been paid 3.7 million cedis, and yet they failed to complete these projects.
Let's go into the phone lines now and speak to the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Edward Derry. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Newsnight. Now, you have been on the committee for some time now. Is this the culture and is it not burdening the state purse?
Thank you. Good evening to your dear listeners and viewers. But let me just make a few corrections. I am the vice chairman of the committee, not the chairman.
Noted, sir.
Thank you. So you can proceed.
Yes, so I was wondering, these issues come up almost every time that we have to look into the Auditor General's report, and this must be a burden on the state's purse.
Definitely, my brother. When you look at the Auditor General report, particularly this 2019, of course, I think your good self and Ghanaians will bear us witness some few weeks ago, the minority leader have to host a press conference to put pressure on the Auditor General to release the 2019 report. I know your reporter in Parliament should have been part of the conference, the press conference. Of course, definitely, when you look at the report, it talks about the deficiency, the weaknesses in internal controls, and the approach or operations of the assemblies. And when you look at most of those irregularities, it borders on cash, either cash or any other irregularity you can be talking of. But ask yourself, it is not the first time, just as you mentioned. It has to do with non-compliance with the existing, legislative framework. It is not a new thing to the Auditor General. It is not a new thing to the assemblies we are dealing with. But of course, just ask yourself, I believe that because of the non-completion of the sanctions on members or probably officers or those in authority to carry out these mandates is causing all this. It's not the first time, of course, I agree with those things. But if a project that costs you even 100,000, and just as you mentioned, over 10 months, you can be sure that you will go into cost overrun. And no contractor will want to bear that cost. Of course, you see them trying to say we have to go back for them to review the contract and to work on. And it is not, probably this has to do with a very specific issue the Auditor General is looking at. And depending on probably the approach of these particular projects, which is narrowing it to Ahafo, probably Ashanti region. But I can tell you, my brother, where I come from, Lambuse, the good people of Lambuse can bear me up. We have projects that we started in 2016. 2016, it got to the roofing level, some at the lintel level. Certificates were raised, as I speak to you. 9 projects, cages, GSS blocks.
But they've all not been completed.
They are there. Even their certificates have not been paid.
So obviously this is widespread, even though the Auditor General highlights the Ashanti, the Ahafo regions. But I'm wondering, at your level, at the committee, what can be done to deal with this?
Yes, at the committee level, my brother, this is not the first approach of the issue. Almost every sitting, you will hear members pray oversighting. There are projects abandoned all over this country. Even we are talking about the current situation. This particular one, you are talking about 2019, but I'm just making reference to you. In 2016, 2015, 2014, particularly 2016, projects are abandoned. They are cut over everywhere, every part of this country you go. I can give a lot of projects in my constituency that have been abandoned.
As Vice Chairman of the committee, when will this come to your notice formally as the committee, and when can we expect that you sit, because you have just a few days for Parliament to rise?
Well, we are looking at it, just as I mentioned. We just had a report. Fortunately, I was in the constituency, but I'm in Accra now. We are looking at it so that we can schedule a day. We'll have a sitting. Of course, the 2019 report appears to be one of the reports we're not expecting such magnificence.
We had heard the AG say he was finding difficulty compiling the report, a report because of COVID-19. Is this the very report you're talking about, 2019?
That cannot just be an excuse, my brother, simply because the Auditor General have a plan for his work. Definitely, if COVID-19 will play in, you ask yourself, yes, it should not be one of the reasons.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify if this is the very report we're talking about.
Exactly, that is it. That is the report we're talking about, the 2019 specifically. And of course, if you look at the 2019 report, I never expected such infractions. Because going forward, we try to caution the assembly over such expenditure. But of course, when you look at it, it went beyond the premise of the assembly. Some of those are central government projects. And of course, if the central government is not releasing funds to take care of such projects, I cannot imagine how the assembly can bear that cost.
And we'll hear some of the explanations as you seek to hold them before your committee. Thank you very much. That's the vice chair of the committee that looks at Public Accounts Committee. Definitely will be having some of these district assemblies come before them to explain why some of these projects have not been completed.
It's necessary that they account for those monies. But Ernest, decent, measured and respectful, these are not my words. These are the words by political actors across the divide to describe the slain member of parliament for Mfantsiman in the central region, Eko Kwanzaa Hayford. Hundreds today, including MPs, gathered at the School Kesim Park in Mankesim to participate in the ceremony to observe a week since the death of the legislator. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led a government delegation to commiserate with the bereaved family.
Now, also to pay his respect was the former President John Mahama. Now, Central Region correspondent Richard Kojinaku. What are the funeral grounds and sent us this report?
November 27th. 2020.
The date for the final funeral rite of the late MP for Mfantsiman, called Kwanzaa Hayford, being announced at the 1-week ceremony by family elders. 27th, 28th, 29th November it is. A solemn ceremony punctuated by chant of support for the widow, Ophelia Hayford, to be supported to win the seat in memory of her husband. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led a government delegation made up of ministers of state and colleague MPs of the late Hayford. General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, who spoke for and on behalf of government and the party, assured government would commit every needed resource to hunt down the killers of the MP. Whether it's armed robbery or not, we will do what we have to investigate the matter thoroughly. What we can do to leave a legacy and to honor the memory of Kwanzaa Hayford is to work very hard, both party and government. Whoever replaces him should continue the good work he started. Some residents urge government to find the killers at all costs and ensure that justice takes its course. They say that's the only way they would be satisfied. When issues like this happen in this country, we don't investigate well. But this one, let's investigate well. Usually when a big person dies in Ghana, the president orders for an investigation. And sometimes such investigations come out with nothing. They will investigate and still we will have nothing. For this one, they shouldn't investigate and come to tell us that the person has mental issues. This one, we want to see the killers. Former President John Dramani Mahama was the next to visit the family. He expressed his condolences. He wants government to deal with the spate of armed robbery in the country.
It is unfortunate that at a time like this, especially in the run-up to an election, that somebody like him, a whole member of parliament, who had filed his nomination to run again for re-election, should die in the way that he did. I believe that, yes, it's a call to us, the leaders, to make sure that our people are safer, because this is something that Ghanaians face every day. There are armed robberies all over the country. But, for somebody like him to die in an incident like this means that we need to wake up and make sure that we deal with the issue of armed robbery so that all our people are safe. But like I said in my message when I tweeted, I think that in the meantime, we need to give some protection to our leaders, like the MPs, and provide them with some armed guards so that they're able to protect them while we work towards making the country safer for all of us.
Wife of the late MP, Ophelia Hayford, was decorated by some party supporters with paraphernalia of the MPP, urging her to brave the storm and deliver victory for the MPP. Richard Kajenya, Joy News.
For his humility, I mean, we are look-alike. He looks like me. He stays in my constituencies, and because of that, we do a lot of things together.
Well, Echo Hayford's colleagues have been paying glowing tribute to him. Gender Minister Cynthia Morrison, National Organizer of the MPP Samuel Oku, Board Chairman of GOIL Kwamina Bartels, and Trade and Industry Minister Alan Chemanting say his death has left a big hole in the party.
He represents all these people that you see here, and when you go to town, even those who are not in morning clothes will tell you how he affected them one way or the other. So for somebody representing a constituency to be taken away like that is a blow. Every human being's life matters, but because of this particular peculiar situation, that is why we classify it as that. It is painful. All of us will die one day. That is what I say. How we are going to die is the issue. So whoever took a course life should know that he can also be called one day. So it is unnecessary. Even if you don't like somebody, it is not about taking a life. Even with animals, you have a way. If you are not going to use a goat or a cow for food, you just shoot the cow or the goat, and
it's unconscionable. It beats my imagination as a young man and as a young politician. I'm saying this because it can happen to anybody. In the line of duty, you are campaigning for your seat. This man was simply a very harmless man. You hardly hear him dabble in controversy. You are from this region. You are in this region. You've been covering for multimedia for years. I'm not sure he's one of the MPs that you will say always makes the news, either for the bad reason or for controversial reasons. And I'm just shattered. We've lost someone who was one bright spot, someone that definitely was going places. And my deepest condolences. And we ask that the good Lord should help these investigators, the BNI, the CID, the National Security, the Ghana Police Service, to get to the bottom of this matter and then get the perpetrators. And may these perpetrators also know no peace. Just as they've dealt with our brother, the good Lord also deal with them through the same medium. Coming here, you see the poster of the man going for MP 2020, and you see his obituary on the other side. It's the saddest thing that can happen to any politician, any family. But people motivated by hate. Because if you listen to the eyewitness account, and it's anything to go by. Once they said, oh, he's an MP, oh, you politicians, people motivated by hate.
And you hear there some leading members of the governing MPP. And Ernest, we're learning 2 suspects have been arrested by the police to assist in investigations.
Let's go to the central region now. Our man there, Richard Kojonyako, joins us on the line. Richard, bring us up to speed on this, arrests that have been made by the police in connection with this murder.
Well, so we also learned from the ground that 2 suspects have been picked by the police. In fact, when we contacted the police, they told us that the docket has been transferred from the regional police headquarters to the national headquarters. And so that is what it is. But the police have been on the ground. If you look at the number of police cars that were present, even at Mankasim, present at this very ceremony, there is no doubt that the wife of Mr. Hayford is also a policewoman and assistant superintendent of police. They have multiplied in numbers, and they are all over the place. So it is not surprising that indeed some arrests have been made. And so the national has taken over investigations about this death of the MP from Fantaman. And so all inquiries and everything, the police regional outfit tells us that they should be channeled to the national outfit. But today, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, indicated that the state of armed robbery is worrying, and government should do everything possible to ensure that Ghanaians are very safe here.
Did the police give details on who these 2 persons are?
Well, so, I mean, there is nothing about them for now. All they told us is that the docket has been transferred from the region to the national headquarters.
Richard Kujunako is our Central Region correspondent and will be following up on this story here in Accra to bring you up to speed on this matter. This is your election headquarters.
And President Akufo-Addo has lost the war against armed robbery in the country. Those are words of NDC presidential candidate John Mahama as he pledges to tackle the state of insecurity the country is currently faced with.
Addressing NDC supporters at Gomwa Durampo in the Gomwa West District as part of the 5-day campaign tour of the Central Region, Mr. Mahama said the next NDC government will work hard to ensure the safety of all Ghanaians and urge electorate to vote for him and the NDC parliamentary candidate there.
Baby bebre wo ho a curfew ni ho enso anajo ntimi mpie enye sa kwan so armed robbers be go so no omo kun anaso omo wia wo nioma. There is insecurity in this country. President Akufo-Addo has lost the war against armed robbery. What they say main Accra Cape Coast Road, Accra Cape Coast kwan, armed robbers be block kwan. Ewia obia ni oma ka bia na no hwe MP a yeku no ya Every say armed robbery now against him. If I'm president, I'm not going to give weapons to vigilantes, invisible forces and Delta forces to kill ordinary Ghanaians. I'll give weapons to the police and the army to fight armed robbers. They say Ghana is the safest country in West Africa. Also, I need the safety no way.
So that's the former President John Dramani Mahama. Well, his running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, says the questions raised about her receiving salaries from the University of Cape Coast are misplaced. In a yet-to-be-aired interview on Joy Prime, she suggested that she has been working with the university since leaving the Education Ministry. She also hints that the decision to rejoin the faculty was taken reluctantly. Now, Dr. Opoku-Agyeman spoke with Daniel Dazi.
I didn't know many people were very, very knowledgeable about how universities are run, how post-retirement contracts are given. I didn't know that, but I'm glad. So I was telling the registrar, next time we advertise, there'll be many, many applicants. We won't be scratching our head anymore about who qualifies. So let me leave it here. So many of the stories will come. As we get closer, you'll hear many of them.
So you did not receive money from
All I'm saying is that the registrar, why shouldn't I? I'm not a citizen. I don't work at the university. No, what is that? Where is that coming from? What's that supposed to mean?
So were they part of your terms and conditions?
Go to the university and find out again. Go and get the number of PhDs and masters I've graduated since I left the ministry. Go and find out the role I play. So do your homework. So I don't know whoever triggered this and what it's supposed to serve. So the registrar put out a statement. And as I said, the university is a very public place. You can consult our statutes, you can consult our acts, you can consult, what I even heard that I first said, something about the academic board. I said, look at this. What has this got to do with the academic board? So we can all be knowledgeable about anything we want if we study it.
So that's running mate to NDC flag bearer Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. This interview airs in the maiden edition of On the Record with Daniel Dazi on Monday, 19th October, at 8 p.m. on Joy Prime TV. Well, Joy News reached out to authorities of the University of Cape Coast and we're told the professor has not breached any regulations or acted contrary to the law. All right, away from politics, let's focus on education now. And all private school teachers are directed to wear funeral outfits and be in mourning for 2 weeks to protest the hardship they've been plunged into since government shut down schools in March this year. This is according to the Ghana National Association of Private Schools, GNAPS, which says their members across the country are struggling after going months without a salary.
Well, according to them, government has failed to come to their aid, and they will organize funerals to mourn their plight both locally and nationally. And Araba, you recall that as part of measures to limit the spread of coronavirus, government had to close down schools, and since then the schools have remained shut. A lot of them have not been paid for months, and almost every day you get a call in the newsroom from one teacher or the other, one association or the other. Well, today they held that news conference, and Kweku Asante has more in this report.
The worsening plight of teachers of private schools across the country has yet been highlighted again by the Ghana National Association of Private Schools. It's been close to 8 months since government shut down schools over the coronavirus pandemic. While some schools are reopening, most private schools, especially at the pre-tertiary level, remain closed. Their teachers have no means of sustenance since they've been receiving no monies from their schools who are out of business. President of the Ghana National Association of Private Schools has been sharing the story of private school teachers who he says are struggling in their current situation.
She was a 24-year-old lady nursing a 6-month-old baby. On 16th March 2020, the private school where she taught class 3 pupils was closed down in response to government's directive on the closure of schools throughout the country. She returned home crestfallen to her husband with no means of subsistence. How was she to cater for her first daughter? Each time she looks into the face of her malnourished baby, Lucy cannot hold back her tears. At a point, she contemplated joining beggars on the streets of Accra. Her colleague teacher at the same school, called Tamshia, now works as a laborer at a construction site. Similarly, Jonas Dapare does odd domestic jobs for an expatriate who pays him a pittance.
The association is therefore calling on government to come to its aid and save them from starvation.
Government, because times are abnormal, shut down our business. We did not take a decision to shut down. So now that we are not at work operating and our workers are at home, the least we can ask is for government to pay them some allowances.
Dr. Ture Song has also served notice that the teachers will embark on a protest by organizing funerals to mourn their plight should government fail to come to their aid.
I hereby announce that from Monday, 19th October 2020, all private school managers and workers are to begin wearing funeral outfits. If government fails to come to the assistance of our teachers within the 2-week period.
Kweku Asante's report there. Let's stay on education, because if you're a parent and you're wondering what becomes of your child's education in light of the closure of schools due to the pandemic, you can breathe easy. That's because the Ghana Education Service has revealed that children from kindergarten to JHS 2 will be allowed to advance to the next stage next year without any assessment or examination. Schools have been closed for more than 6 months since Ghana began recording cases of the pandemic. Deputy Director General of GES in charge of Quality and Access, Dr. Kwabena Bempatando, has been speaking on Prime Morning on Joy Prime TV.
When schools open in January, everybody is being promoted. Even those whose academic work was truncated will be promoted. 2 reasons. Number one, every year, the education system, led by Ghana Education Service, but with our private schools, we're taking anywhere between 500,000 to 600,000 new students. KG1 students who are coming in. This pandemic and the closure of schools means they are marking time, they are waiting. So you can't, if you let them continue to mark time and wait, if this virus lasts for 3 years, you would have a large number of children who have not had the opportunity to enter school. And Ghana Education Service, working with UNICEF, we are pushing right age enrollment. And so if we do that, we will have a lot of children in the back. So everybody will be promoted. Interesting. But I want to also let everybody know that it is the same teachers who are teaching these kids. So while the kids are promoted to class 2 or class 3 or class 4, the content of their academic work will begin from where it was truncated in March.
So you had the Director General of the GES, Deputy Director General of the GES in charge of Quality and Access, Dr. Kwabena Tando. Let's go to the phone lines now. We're joined by the Administrator of the National Coalition for PTAs, Charles Ajete Soa, for some reaction to the GES decision. Thank you very much, Mr. Soa, for your time here on Newsnight. Does this sit well with you? Your kids would be promoted to the next class, even though they have missed some, learning time and hours.
Thank you very much, and good evening to you and your listeners. I think that it is a welcoming news. We go along with that decision because we cannot have a situation where the students will be repeated when there are new intake. Then how are we going to manage with space? So I think that it is a very good thing. Always we can have internal remedial arrangements where the unfinished syllabus can be covered alongside with the current classes, syllabus. So we think that is a good thing that we all have to, because we are all dealing with a new normal. I mean, a situation that we did not anticipate. And so if it has come that way, all of us will have to make some sacrifices in order to achieve the larger goal ahead of us, which is, making sure that the children receive the kind of quality education that they need. Meanwhile, whilst we're having even the pandemic, some remedial measures were taken, by the GES, where we had some virtual learning. So definitely they have not gone empty at all. And we think that this decision is in the right direction.
But like you said, this will call for some sacrifice. For you as parents, are you willing to sacrifice, especially for those of you with children in the private schools? The teachers may have to go the extra length to make sure that you cover what you have lost and then move on with the current syllabus. Are you willing to make those sacrifices as well?
Thank you very much. We as parents are always willing to do so because we know the value of education. And if the teachers have got their normal hours within which they teach, and there's going to be extra hours for them to teach, then obviously they need to be compensated or motivated to do so. And so parents are always willing to help in that direction.
Thank you very much. That's Charles Ajete Soa, Administrator with the Coalition of National PTA. Still ahead in the bulletin here on Newsnight. All is set for the Joy News Imani Minority Party debate as 5 presidential aspirants battle it out to hopefully break the duopoly of the NDC and MPP.
You said what's our target? I said 50% plus. And that is our target. A target is a target.
I'm not interested in 8 years term. I am only interested in 4 years.
So with our policies, it's not just free SHS. It is free from kindergarten to tertiary.
We'll cross over live to the UPSC auditorium for preparations ahead of this much anticipated debate.
And later, celebrities up in arms over Gaming Commission's decision to ban betting companies from using stars as ambassadors.
We did run and they say bets, people with celebrities with the advertise for bets. Bad man, make a wake up. We're so sad.
We'll hear from comedian DKB, Shatawale and others who are reacting to this directive. It's now time for business, and Georgia Affairs here. Hello, George.
Interesting news, what the law says and the practicality on the ground and all the rest. You know that these stars, apart from the live events, these are some of the things that they make extra income to actually.
Some of them actually make more money from
these endorsements,
but
it's clear. Let's want to see what the law is saying and the moral argument and all the rest about what was
That's the point people are raising. Is this a moral argument or is the decision backed by the law?
I think that the law is clear on this. Yeah. That is why they are protesting. They are not happy. They think that it's not practicable.
In fact, Moni Sheikh said she's going to sue them.
Okay, they should go to the court and let's see what
happens. Let's see what happens.
These kids, the moral arguments, and it's always a thing line, you understand? These kids are watching all sort of things. It's automatic that if something is coming from Araba Kumsin, I'm going to take it on and do it because she is a star.
Of course, they're influences. But what's in business?
Well, coming up, Araba Finance Minister Ken Ofriata assures pick up in the economy will be sustained while promising to be prudent with expenditure in the last quarter of the year. And Aluex describes landmark ruling by International Trade Commission as good for Ghanaian industries and will impact positively on their fortunes. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kindle Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank,
How can we help you?
Agnes, would you be my girlfriend? Agnes, would you please be my girlfriend? Okay, let's call her.
If you like the caller tune you're about to listen to, press star 1 to copy now.
Express yourself with your caller tune and win big with MTN. Simply dial star 1355 hash and download your favorite caller tune or copy or renew your already existing caller tune and stand the chance of winning up to 1,000 CDs weekly, 4,000 CDs monthly, and the grand prize of 15,000 CDs in the MTN Caller Tunes promo. Send stars to 1355 or dial star 1355 hash to subscribe today. We're good together. We there for you everywhere you go.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks, and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years' experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery, and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHS, Kumasi KNUST Campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302 764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website www.kingdomgh.com.
My guy, it's been a while.
My guy, I'm looking for a safe place in Ghana where I can invest after losing all that money last year. I know you are the investigation minister.
Currently, if you're looking for a safe and dependable fund manager, then it's EDCO. They are the investment banking subsidiary of EcoBank Group, and their fixed income unit trust is the biggest collective investment scheme right here in Ghana. It has generated returns above the treasury bill rate since its inception. You can access your funds anytime without penalties.
Hey, really?
Yes. Access their services at any EcoBank branch. Call 0302-634165 or WhatsApp them on 0595-235065. Also, you can conveniently fund your account using mobile money on all networks, internet banking, or EcoBank mobile app, and many more.
Thank you, Akwesi. I'll call them right away.
Hey, not even a bye-bye. With EDC, financial independence is possible. Terms and conditions apply.
My buddy, why you for just the watch when you can be wild proper? When you for scream, shout, she and kata, put your body, get down, fire your body, catch views, drop the mic. Ghana, the time cut where we for change the way we watch. Welcome to Showmax and to Chow Online Entertainment, from movies and series to sports like EPL and La Liga. Feel it from Super Sport and more. You feel enjoy them on any device, anytime. Visit showmax.com today. Let's lucky.
Joy 99.7 FM, radio for the discerning listener.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has given the firm assurance that the recent pickup of the economy would be sustained. Recent data from the Bank of Ghana has revealed that the economy will pick up post-easing of COVID-19 restrictions. Now, based on this development, the economy may end the year growing at more than 2% according to the Bank of Ghana. But speaking to donors at the ongoing virtual IMF World Bank annual meetings, the minister said they are committed to prudent expenditure the last quarter of this year.
I think for Ghana, we started the year thinking of a 6.8% growth, of which we pared down to 0.9. It looks like we may be able to eke some eke something out between 1 and 1.5%, and that is the best we can do. Our deficit moved from 4.9 to 11.4, which is putting quite a bit of strain on us because of our revenue situation. We expect, however, to move really quickly towards intervening for recovery, and we've put together close to a $20 billion program to look at a Ghana Cares program where state and financed by government and 70% private sector, so that we pivot off of this unfortunate situation and literally to take advantage to waste this pandemic.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta speaking to donors at the ongoing virtual IMF World Bank meetings in Washington, D.C. Now, aluminium smelting firm Aluex has described the landmark ruling by International Trade Commission as good for Ghanaian industries. The Ghana International Trade Commission today, after years of investigations, ruled that Aluex aluminium coils and circles coming from China can be classified as dumping. It therefore recommended the necessary anti-dumping duties to be placed on these products. Aluex was one of the companies that filed the complaint at the Commission, and its Chief Executive Kwesi Okon has been speaking to Israel Live on Business Live a while ago.
Having got the ruling is one thing. Yes. Seeing it on the market is another thing. The ruling by GITC now goes to GRA. GRA have their own procedures to get it to the ports of entry to be actually implemented. I don't know how long that will take, but I hope it's to be done yesterday because we need it badly.
Certainly, this will affect your bottom line. I'm expecting that you can sell more. What other ways are you seeing this impacting on the business?
First one, of course, is our volumes will go up tremendously because what this will do is to impose additional duty on the imports, and I can see a lot of savvy businessmen deciding that it doesn't no longer make sense to import. They were importing because of that rebate that was being given by China. Once that's been removed, it makes sense for them to buy local. Now that has been reversed, we will get a huge, well, sooner or later, when they've run out of their stocks that they've already imported, they will come back to us for the tonnage that they need.
Chief Executive of Aluex Kwesi Okon speaking to Israel on Business Live a while ago. Now, scheduled domestic air flight resumed fully today, despite an earlier warning of a full-blown strike by workers at the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. The sit-down strike yesterday briefly disrupted some flight from the Kotoka International Airport, but Joy Business understands operations were normal today at the port. Meanwhile, one of the domestic carriers, Africa World, says all passengers experienced seamless flights today. Chief Operations Officer at Africa World, Shin Mendes, says 16 flights were successful today.
We've had no issues with our operations today. In fact, all of our flights have run perfectly on time. Following yesterday's disruptions, today we've had 7 Kumasi flights, 4 Tamale flights, 2 Takoradi flights, 1 each to Lagos, Abuja, and Abidjan, and all of these flights have operated on time with no disruptions. There's another Lagos flight planned tonight, which will also be on schedule. So today's operations are perfectly back to normal.
Chief Operations Officer at Africa World, Shin Mendes. Now, Director General at the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, Wamkele Mene, says the African Trade Agreement will help revive the African economy. Now, figures from the World Bank shows that 25 to 30 million jobs in Africa got lost as a result of COVID-19. Speaking at an engagement with the diplomatic community and the Africa member states in Accra, Mr. Mene says that all the loosened ends of the agreement will be firmed up for it to take off fully from next year.
We had, as a trade response to COVID-19, we provided advice, proposals to heads of states and to ministers of trade that trade corridors should be established during the period of the pandemic. And second, that for the goods that are required for fighting the pandemic, that are essential for fighting the pandemic, that these goods should be allowed to transit through borders at 0 rates without any duties, so that millions and millions of Africans can have access to these products. This is these are the proposals that we made as a secretariat as part of the arsenal of the African Union.
Director General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, Wamkele Mani, to some stock market development and manufacturing firm Peace and Carsons has set October 19 as deadline to fully delist from the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now, this was after it completed the process of asking its shareholders to tender in their shares, which they managed to secure 3.9 million shares. EcoBank actually today lost 28 pesos and is now worth 6 Ghana cedis, 1 peso. SGE, Societe Generale, was up by 6 pesos and it's now worth 70 Ghana cedis. And that's all for Business on Newsnight. Back to you, Kojo, Menu, and Araba.
Thank you very much, George, for bringing us business. A lot of you have sent us messages via our console 055-1111-997. Let me start with this one from Philip in Keta. This one says, the future of the NDC, the future NDC in 2021, or a future NDC government will deal with armed robbers. Ghanaians are suffering and we need God's intervention. This one also says from me, I think private teachers have no point when they were charging abnormal school fees. The public schools were not. They should use some of those monies to pay themselves.
Also, Yao Intama writes, the so-called celebrities should give us a break. So that's the story that we are yet to bring you. But he's saying that if they've established themselves well in their vocations, they won't have time to debate a ban or otherwise. That's your opinion. And Musa Abattoir in Kumasi says, MPP is setting a bad precedent. This attitude of widows succeeding their husbands is not the best practice. It's culturally and morally wrong, but unprecedented level in insecurity we're seeing today is becoming worrying.
Another one here from Wolanyo in Akwetia says, John Mahama should give us a break. During his tenure, we saw the death of J.B. Dankwa and 2 other chiefs. What happened? May the slain MP rest in peace. And then one more here from Eric Kwao in Afla. He says, it seems that like our country is in a state It seems our country is in a state of insecurity. Our security personnel should beef up their work and bring those involved in the killing of Echo Hayford to book. My deepest condolences to the family. And those are some of your messages here on Newsnight.
All right, so we are dying of hunger. That's the cry of hundreds of Nigerian traders in Ghana, some of whom say their shops have been closed since December 2019. Today, they massed up at the premises of the Nigerian High Commission in protest of what they call inhumane treatment meted out to them by the Ghana government. Now, as you know, Section 27(1) of the JIPC Act 865 bars foreigners from partaking in retail trade in Ghana. Against this backdrop, local authorities have on multiple occasions moved in to shut down operations of businesses which they believed were flouting this directive.
But today, the traders, some of whose shops have been closed since December 2019, say they are dying of hunger and want to be evacuated to Nigeria if Ghanaian authorities will not address their issues or open their shops. We'll hear from some Ghanaian authorities, but first, Manuel Cranton was at their news conference today at the High Commission of the Nigerian government and brings us this report.
The members of the Nigerian Traders Association of Ghana have today massed up in front of the Nigerian High Commission, and their requests are two. First of all, that the Commission facilitates the reopening, the immediate reopening, by that I mean of their shops, some of which have been locked since December 2019. They want the shops to be opened, or at least they be evacuated back to their home country, Nigeria.
I'm assuring you, by end of this month, if they not evacuate us, we will charter bus and go and keep ourselves in a border. Because we show them that we really want to go. And we are now being subjected to a hardship that are costing our lives. And we thought the best thing to do is to come here.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's acting High Commissioner to Ghana, Esther Ariwa, who received the petition, assured of the Nigerian government's commitment to handling the situation.
I want to know that the Nigerian government too is not resting on your case. Just as you mentioned, it's because of you, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, His Excellency Bajabia Miller, came to Ghana. News that you people will be coming this morning. I have to also make a call fast that, our people are coming. And the information I got is that, oh yes, it's up there at the presidency. So we are hoping very soon your situation will be addressed.
Manuel Cranton files that report. Time now for sports, and Baba joins us from London. Hello, Babs.
Hi, Ernest, and hi, Araba. The International Paralympic Committee has vowed to step in if its Ghana chapter is not giving a representation at the LOC of the 2023 Africa Games. Third president of the IPC, Andrew Parsons, has been speaking to Samson Dean, who is president of the GPC, assuring him of every support if the sports ministry does not take the right steps to appoint one of its members to serve the interests of the Continental Paralympic movement ahead of the multi-sport event.
The step one is to get you into the LOC board, and this is with if you want to inform everyone in Ghana that we have spoken and that you have my full support in what you're defending in terms of that the NPC of Ghana should be in the LOC board, but it's up to the LOC of Ghana, the NPC of Ghana to appoint its representative, and not as I have read in the letter that they want to say, oh, we want a retired Paralympian and this and this and that. Not mention the fact that they say who have participated in the Olympic Games. You know, that was I hope it was a mistake from their side.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Paralympic Committee has appointed its president, Samson Dean, as their representative on the LOC, and this has been duly communicated to the Sports Ministry in a letter. And in case you've missed it, Black Star striker Samajan and his brother Bafo Jan have been trending for the wrong reasons. Godwin Mate, the CEO of Websoft Solutions, has accused Samajan and his brother Bafo Jan of assaulting him during a tennis match at the 37 Army Officers Mess tennis court, and this happened last night. He said the game between him and the former Black Star skipper, which was set up by a mutual friend, took a sour turn after he noticed the umpire Bafo Jan was making certain calls not in his favor. Here's an audio clip of the alleged assault.
You are trying to create an impression here. Before the game, we started making excuses.
But you, for your, why will you say you slap me?
I will. You see? That's
no, but you said so, and you even hit me now. You has hit me.
You deserve it.
Wow.
Wow.
No.
Take me to the radio station now.
Where? Yeah. Wow. Wow. You see, he hit me.
Is that your record?
Bafo hit me. No problem.
You like talking?
What have I said? I'm talking to the person. Shut up. Are you psycho or what? But what have I said against you?
Whose record is it?
Is that why he hit me?
Whose record?
No problem.
Hey, if you say I'll hit you. If you like, I'll hit you again.
All right. So the latest on this issue, Araba and NS, is that Bafo and his brother Asamoah Jan say that Godwin Mate can actually proceed to court for all they care, and they will meet him in court if he so decides.
So essentially, they are calling his bluff.
They are calling his bluff.
Wow.
Yes, I actually needed to put that out in plain, simple language, you know. Anyway, head on to myjonline.com/sports for more. You are up to date in the world of sports. I'm Baba Tanda from London.
Thank you very much, Baba, for bringing us the latest in the world of sport. And Araba, I know that your second mansion is coming up. Don't ask me why and how. I know from the grapevine. But what do you prefer? Wooden frames to steel frames when it comes to your roofing?
You know, I think I'll opt for steel frames. I think they're more durable, aren't they?
Yes, we can hear from the civil engineer with DBS Roofing. He's been telling you why you should choose galvanized steel roofing over wood frames.
Steel, one, is durable. It affords a long-term and consistent performance. And so as opposed to the wooden frames, when you put on the steel structure, it can take you a whole lot. You know, every structure has a lifespan, and with steel, that lifespan is much, much longer than the wood framing methods. And then number two is that with the steel is actually a non-combustible material. What I mean by that is that it's not able to spread fire because it's not able to act as a fuel. And so if you choose steel structure, you don't have to worry about your building being getting totally destroyed in case of fires.
Okay.
You have the fire resistance when you choose the steel. And then with the steel framing method, you also have design efficiency.
So that's Jackson Oseajiman with DBS Roofing Sheet. He's a civil engineer there. And of course, the Habitat Fair comes up this weekend, the mini clinic at the West Hills Mall.
We're back to election headquarters, and it promises to be a fierce contest as minority political parties lock horns in a debate to share their policies, promises, and ideologies with the people of Ghana. 5 presidential aspirants will be on one stage as your election headquarters, in partnership with Imani Ghana, brings you the minority parties debate tonight. That's just 1 hour, a little under an hour away from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's exactly 8 p.m. That debate will be underway. We'll hear from Hassan Ayariga, who is with the All People's Congress, APC. We'll hear from Ivor Greenstreet, CPP, David Apasera with the PNC, and the PPP's Bridget Dobrenuku. But they've been speaking to us ahead of the debate tonight.
We want wins in many ways. We are still working on our target, but we want wins in many ways.
Oh yeah, they want to win the elections.
Yes, we also want.
They want to get
50%
plus 1.
We also want to win the election.
50% plus 1.
50 plus.
And also
Ghanaians
because the PP
want something different now.
What?
Ghanaians are tired of the NPP and the NDC. In fact, we say we will be an amalgam. We'll be a bridge. Bridget will be a bridge between the NDC and the NPP.
I am giving you the opportunity that look, when you give the mandate to Hassan Ayariga, 2020. It's not going to be like NDC, it's not going to be an MPP, it's going to be policy-based economy. And don't forget, I'm not interested in 8 years term. I am only interested in 4 years to show you the different kind of leaders we have and transform this country.
Our policies are free from kindergarten all the way to tertiary level. So with our policies, it's not just free SHS, it is free from kindergarten to tertiary.
And then it should be the cheapest thing we have to industrialize. Right now, we cannot do it. So we have a lot to do for Ghanaians. Okay. We pray that Ghana, they will see PNC and David Apasera.
So very interesting ideas there, but all of that will be interrogated at 8 p.m. At the UPSC Auditorium. Join Evans and MFR Pau as they do that. It will be live on TV, on radio at 8 p.m., online and all our social media platforms. Remember that it's strictly by invitation for those of you who want to be there. That's it for Newsnight. My name is Ernest Manu. I did this with
Araba Kumsin. And of course, you can get more news on My Joy Online, including the story about celebrities up in arms over Gaming Commission's decision to ban betting companies from using stars as ambassadors.
Lexus Bill is next on your radio.